Hi, my name is Annalisa. Today I'd like to do an astrological chart reading. And the person is Jeff Bezos. Who is Jeff Bezos? Jeff Bezos is the CEO and founder of Amazon. I will continue to look at his chart so I can read it well. What it is in his chart that indicates his success and massive wealth. When Jeff Bezos took his first breath, according to Plato philosophy, in his which is Plato's philosophy is when you take the first breath, that's when the soul enters your body. So that moment, that minute, his chart was marked for total success. He was born January the 12th, 1964, which makes him a Capricorn sun. His time of birth was 11:33 a.m., which makes him an Aries rising. In a square at 1 degree applying to his sun with the rule of his ascending sun, which is Mars, in the 10th house, in exaltation in 10th house. And Jupiter in his ascending in a square applying to his MC. His MC is midheaven, also depicts career. He was born with this disposition for leadership and influences over others, and the assertiveness, and courage and strength and risk-taking attitude, and the credibility to rise higher and higher to control and influence others. He works well with others, of course, and especially friends. He has a strong mind and major talents, and most of all, he has that politician edge to him. His moon is at 28 degrees of Sagittarius, out of bound moon, in a trine with his ascendant, which makes him a total genius. Like others, like Einstein and others in that same category. No need to be diplomatic or lie to anyone or need to stay in anyone's good grace. That's his attitude. That's the out-of-bound moon. He lets nothing bother his mind, and he keeps that structured and stable mind and disciplined mind. He's very disciplined. He's a very disciplined mind. But he also can be a very hot-headed too. But nevertheless, he's very disciplined person. In 1994, at 30 years old, when he was having his first Saturn return, he has his second Saturn return coming up in 2021, but we'll talk about that in later on. He, on 2020, he was named Forbes #1 out of 400. That Saturn transit over his stellium in Capricorn, the Sun, Mars, Mercury, MC, and South Node, and all of those eclipses on the cardinal signs that happened in 2020. These aspects are also why he faced criticism as well from U.S. senators and general public for Amazon's treatment of the warehouse workers during the coronavirus epidemic. Between March and April 2020, Amazon hired 175,000 additional workers, and in April 2020, he donated $100 million to feed the nonprofit that operates food banks in America. So going back to 1994, he founded this, at 94, at 30 years old, he founded this e-commerce colossus called Amazon. And out of his garage in Seattle. And at that time, he was in his 7th house yearly perfection in Libra. There were quite a few challenges at that time, the adversities and open enemies right there. that he knew, competition and adversaries that he faced. But because he was in the seventh house perfection, that attracted other people supporting him, other people doing things that he needed to be done. And at that time, he convinced his parents, as the story goes, that he convinced his parents to invest $250,000 on his ideas and concepts. Okay. In 2019, he divorced his wife Mackenzie after 25 years of marriage and transferred a quarter stake of his Amazon to her. And Amazon at that time too, 2019, also notched 280.5 billion. My tongue cannot even roll around that number. In revenues, and recorded 11.5 billion in net profit. He was in the 8th house perfection at that time in Scorpio, ruled by Mars. He had a planet bisect. Mars is a bad planet bisect because he is a day chart person. So that's his bad planet. But nevertheless, it's in his 10th house in exaltation. He was breaking records with commerce and other people's money at that time, but he also dealt with death of his marriage. So 8th house is death and other people's money and commerce and all of that, investments and all of that stuff. Now for 2021, Mr. Jeff Bezos will have a Saturn return, like I mentioned before, that he would have his second return this year. But that second Saturn return will last him until March 2023. What can we expect from him? He's going to his 10th house perfection year in 2021, which, if you remember, he has his stellium in the 10th house. That's all the Sun, the Mars, the Mercury, the South Node, and so forth. So he's going to meet up with his stellium in the 10th house this year coming up. I feel that this man is going to reach higher peaks of greater record-breaking numbers. But I also feel that these records will branch into other fields, like possibly technology and aerospace. His lot, which is another concept of traditional astrology, which defines where you are, where you're going, where you've been, it's the lots. His lot of spirit, which is in Aquarius, he just had a loosing of the bound, which is when you get inspired. In October 2020, he had a loosing of the bound, which is where you get inspired to do other things. So he will be inspired, and he will want to focus on something, other things, and achieve everything to the max. And that lot out of bound energy will be there until 2022. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You can reach me at my channel on YouTube, as I would guess you were watching this video from, and my website, Metaphysical Cove. And I wish you well, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.